So today you are going to learn that fame is the highest commodity. It's God's highest commodity. It's not money, even though money answers everything. Uh, it's fame. And what you're going to find out is that fame is to be used to do good. Is it? You should not squander fame on debauchery. So let's take a look here at the Biblos, because that's where all the reality is. That's where reality is located. Mm-hmm. Yep, it sure is. Take a look. Hey, type it in. This is by far the easiest tool to look up concepts. It's in the Bible, blue letter Bible. Donate $3 to them after you finish watching this. Okay, so now, Frank, you're gonna have to do your own research on this because I'm not gonna break none of this down. And the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come. And it pleased Pharaoh well and his servants. Now, if thou shalt kill all his people as one man, then the nations which have heard the fame of you will speak. So the Jesus was with Joshua, and his fame was noised throughout all the country, and so forth and so on. Right. So let's go down the other. Yeah, what I say? When the Queen of Sheba, which is the queen of a man named Sheba, let me show you that. That will be the married wife of a man named Sheba. Okay, so there goes Sheba right here. He's the son of Cush. Oh, my fault. That's the wrong Sheba. This is the right Sheba right here. Uh-huh. Yep, that's right. This is the Sheba that she was married to. So anybody says that Solomon committed adultery, that would not be biblically accurate. Okay, so he never. There's nothing in there insinuating that they had sex. Okay, let me see here. And unto Eber were born two sons, and the name of one was Peleg, or Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, right? So that's when, and his brother's name was Joktan. So there's two connotations in this divided earth. Was when the languages, the one language, Akkadian, had split up into multiple languages, and then the people started moving away from each other because they couldn't understand each other's speech. Second connotation of divided is because after the flood, the earth split, the land split and was separated. It used to be one supercontinent called Eden. and the Garden of Eden was on the east side of Eden. So, you would have to reconstruct the whole supercontinent and then determine the east side. You understand? So, I've done it before, but I just don't remember what countries denote the east side of Eden. All right, so when you go down here, it says he had a son called Peleg and Joktan. Joktan begat Almadad and Shedef and Hazar Mavet and Zerah. Now, a neat trick you can do, right? I said neat. I'm a geek, so what? Matter of fact, you need to hurry up and decolonize. We got our decolonizers doing great work and they're becoming famous. They're receiving great fame. And like I said in the beginning, fame is based on the good that you do on the earth. And the righteous money, the just money that you collect. You see, debauchery don't count. So your wicked fame, you're doomed. Unless you learn what repentance is and you learn the law and you keep that. And then you're gonna lose everything that you got all the money that you collected unjustly. You're gonna lose all of that. So the best thing to do instead of just having it all stripped away from you is to just give all of your money to the poor. Hey, hey, I'm poor. Hey, give me all your money. And I'm serious. So that's what you should do. Uh, and that will since you know how to get money very easily, then once you learn the law and how to get money justly, then the money that you give away to the poor, i.e., me, you will get back double. You're going to get back double. It's the same thing Job went through. He was an extremely wealthy man during this same time here when the earth was divided and the languages was divided. It was akin to being a king because he's Esau's son. So Esau, is the king of the earth. It has been for many, many thousands of years. So that family still rules to this day. And so Job was extraordinarily rich, but he took it upon himself to feel bad about it, not about being wealthy, but to see the debauchery in his country, how they would perform abortions to this statue called Moloch, and they would feed their newborn child to Moloch, and they would burn their child. Moloch was an oven, and just Kawinky Dink is that today, whenever they need to get rid of the abortions that they coerce everyone to have, they incinerate the children today in an oven. Yeah, because they're still following their ancient rituals. You understand? So that's how that works. Joktan begat those people, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Dikla, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. So, a lot of people think that this is Job. A lot of people think that the other Jobab is Job, the Issacharite. Job, but that doesn't make any sense because Job kept the meticulous records. All right, so it says here, so there's no need to guess. He tells you that he's Esau's son. Now you got Eber had two sons, and Joktan had how many children? One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All of these were the sons of Joktan. So let me see. I just forgot how many I just counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 children. Okay. So now, as you can see in this list, is Sheba. So Sheba is a man. It's a son, the son of Joktan. So when you read about the queen of Sheba, the queen's name is not Sheba. The queen is the wife of this man, Sheba. Understood? Good. Now, he went on to found a location, carve out a space for his family in the earth. That location is known as the Philippines today. It's what it's actually called Maharlika today. So I'm just letting you know these information because these things are more important than you know right now. You understand you still on that milk, and I just got finished eating some steak and fries. So I'm long past milk. Milk is my ex, as a matter of fact. I'm long past her. My Bronx baby. All right, so now check this out. So Fame, the Queen of Sheba, so it's a lady, they never say her name, that was married to Sheba, heard of the fame of Solomon concerning the name of Jesus, that they didn't call Jesus at the time. She came to prove him with hard questions. So she came to interrogate Solomon to be sure that he is a just and man and stuff like this, and maybe not even so much trying to find out his righteousness, but just to find out, science, just to, find out what about this and what about that, just things she wanted to know, and he seemed to have all of the answers of the earth in that time. You understand? So he was like the wisest, known, he was famous for being the wisest man in the earth during his lifetime. So the information that he uh, received had to come from somewhere. It had to come through the scientific experiments, and a lot of it came from the Most High that would tell him things and teach him things. You see. So howbeit, on to the next frame. Howbeit I believed not the words until I came, and mine eyes had seen it. And behold, the half was not told me. Your wisdom and prosperity exceeds the fame which I heard. Mm-hmm. So the Queen of Sheba said that his wisdom and the wealth that he had accrued out from mining. See, he didn't go around conquering and stealing money. You understand? So he would receive booty from military campaigns after somebody tried to pick a fight with his country, and then he would just go wipe them out and then collect the booty from that. So that's perfectly legal to defend yourself. You see, it's illegal to just go about conquering everywhere. So all the conquering that you've seen from Esau all this time, from the birth of Esau to this day, is perfectly illegal, and it's a humongous infinite debt that he cannot pay for. So uh, his his uh, wonderful brother. Hold on. No, Esau's son, T-Man, is the only Edomite that should be respected to this day. Okay, so let me show you the children of Esau right quick. Mhm. Just want you to know some things. You know what I mean? It's important for you to know things because when you know, then you don't have to find out. All right. Uh, let's take a look at him and go to every person in the Bible because this site done crashed. I guess they done uh, assassinated the owner of this site because there's no updates. Like it's like you can't search by name anymore. Like if I go here, I type any name in, right? No names are found. Jesus' name is not found in the Bible. Is that what you're telling me? So the site doesn't. It no longer works. It was never updated. And copyright is still talking about 2005. How? It's 2020 now. So yeah, they clearly assassinated this guy, whoever owns this website. Uh, but I'm gonna look it up and follow up and check on that because I'm just guessing right now. I'm trying to find Esau. Stop it. Go over here. Uh-huh. Go down to this. Here we go. The son of Rebecca. You take a look at it's by far the best tool to look up families in the Bible. So this is the children: Eliphaz, Reuel, Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. So if I'm not mistaken, T-Man is the son of Eliphaz. So if I click Eliphaz, you'll see his name T-Man here. Omar, Zephi, Gatam, Kenaz, like Ashkenaz, Amalek. These people are supposed to be extinct, but the Israelites disobeyed a direct order to genocide these people down to zero. They left 1 or 2% of them alive, and they are ruling the earth today. So then you have T-Man is the only Edomite family in the earth that that must be respected at all costs. Take a look at my lesson saving private Esau for that information, the details. All right, so my point is, let's get back to the lesson. Fame. The point is fame. And let's see, where are we at here? Okay. Okay. I believe the word says that Sheba. Okay. So we're talking about Sheba, howbeit I believed not the words until I came and saw for myself, and mine eyes had seen it, saw it for myself. And behold, the half was not told me. Your wisdom and wealth exceeds the fame which I heard. So fame, fame, you see, exceeds the fame which I heard. You see, it's the highest commodity. It's God's highest commodity, fame. So you have to accrue that fame by doing so much good in the world that God respects you. Now, when it comes to the fame of Bill Gates, of how he uh, is uh, a eugenicist and has accepted the philosophy that the world can possibly become overpopulated somehow, and there won't be enough room to do anything. There won't be enough room to travel. Like in this space that I'm living in called a house, there will be people on all sides of me, and the room would be packed full of people, and there will be no room to move at all, and everyone will be stuck in place. That's overpopulation. So it's impossible to happen. You understand? Especially when you have the righteous ruling. When the righteous rules, the earth will yield uh, enough fruit and vegetables that the Bible calls fruit um, for the people. You understand? Well, today we're talking about fame, it being the highest commodity. So you got to use it. You can't just squander your fame, man. You can't just uh, be lukewarm. You have to be hot. You can't be cold. The, even though the Most High prefers cold over lukewarm, He's still going to spit out the lukewarm people, the people that try to be neutral. And I don't want to. I don't want to get into that. I just want to live my life. You see, I don't want to get into that. You see, that's a lukewarm person that doesn't fight for right, and it's always his decision that he made. Wow. So they have all these debates before things happen. And when the right thing happens, the right thing always inevitably happens. It's just unbelievable that people think that uh, wrong is going to be forever. You see, so the right thing always inevitably happens, and there are people before the right thing happens, like say for example, Harry Tubman uh, performing the Underground Railroad throughout America, and the fame of the Underground Railroad reached throughout America, and people in those locations started creating their own networks of people to perform their own Underground Railroads, right? Because they heard about Harry Tubman. So now Harriet Tubman herself did not transport herself telepathically to all these locations across the South to tell them, I mean, to personally walk with them over and over again through the Underground Railroad. Didn't happen. So her fame is how that message was spread to across the South under the Mason-Dixon line. You see what I'm saying? Look up the Mason-Dixon line, you'll see the South and you'll see the North. And the fame of Harriet Tubman in the East spread across the entire South. And people in those locations created their own underground railroads, and people escaped slavery, those who knew that they were slaves. Because by that time, by her time, they had removed the shackles from slaves. You see what I'm saying? So they had removed the shackles from slavery approximately about maybe 50 to 100 years into slavery. They removed the shackles and the yokes of iron. See what I'm saying? So before that time, all the buck breaking and stuff like that, they had to shackle and put yokes of iron on people in order to break their spirit from fighting. You see, and then the generation after that learned to not only never fight, but to don't eyeball a white man. Don't say anything remotely disrespectful to a white man. So that's kind of like how we live today when it comes to black people. You can't look a psychotic black person in the eye. Uh, that's disrespect to them. You can't say anything remotely disrespectful to a black man, a psychotic black man, because if they feel some type of way, they'll push every button on the keyboard until they got the whole squad is gonna pull up on you and try to kill you. That's how it works. This is the world we're living in. The black people have been trained to be white supremacists. You see, they have accepted that training, and they go about doing the murdering of the white supremacists. Lots of black people do that. So I hate those guys with a passion. They say, "Howbeit, I believe not the words till it came." All right. And the fame of David went out into all the lands. Okay, now think about it now. Noah. You ever heard of Noah? Right. Because he's famous. Adam. You ever heard of Adam? That's correct. Because it's famous. You see what I'm saying? Now, I can say 100 names in between Adam and Noah. You wouldn't know who it is. Maybe you might know Methuselah. Why? Because he's the oldest man. He was the oldest recorded man in history, other than, I think he was older. Yeah, he lived longer than Adam. So uh, that's understandable. Then you got, I might be able to say something like, what's on name? Enoch. Enoch. See, he's famous. You see, between Adam and Noah. Then you got Abraham. Right? Everybody knows Abraham. I'm talking about, man, Abraham. He could be he could be the most famous person alive today. I'm thinking that. Then you got Jesus, very famous person. And the same thing happened throughout their life. They would build up their reputation throughout their life. And so Abraham is before what I'm reading now, Solomon and David, way before. So Abraham conquered his homeland because they were just super wicked, right? I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but they were very wicked. And so uh, Abraham took it upon himself to slaughter a lot of them, right? And then his fame had reached the other kings and kingdoms that were close to his area, and they had made a decision to ride on him, slide on him. You understand? So he decided to move. That's when he moved to Pananaram, right? And then after that, he moved to Egypt for a little while. I'll be honest with you, he moved to Egypt for a while, and then the Pharaoh of Egypt you know, tried to tried to rape him. So rape his wife, which is the highest disrespect. And what he was doing as he was traveling was creating. He was networking, so he was creating allies. He was creating allies for the kings in his area that wanted to ride on him and slide on him. Namely, the kings of the kings that were pissed at him were the kings that ruled Sodom and Gomorrah. So it was 5 cities or five kingdoms there that was neighbors to each other, like in a string of like cities Uh, so they called their mayors kings. You see what I'm saying? So the cities were along the Dead Sea, and that kingdom of Sodom and Gomorrah and the other three cities uh, heard that Abraham slaughtered to the east of them, slaughtered, their family members. Okay, because let me show you something. Ham, Shem, and Japheth's descendants, right, were overlapping in Abraham's hometown. Abraham's hometown. Abraham is a descendant of Noah, uh, very far removed from Noah, and Ham, Shem, and Japheth's uh, descendants were overlapping, so they were mingling together, and they had kind of like developed a distrust of each other, right? So this is what I'm showing you here. This is what I'm talking about here, and I want you to see it, what I'm saying here. Okay, so uh, see, you see the circles here? That's Japheth, Ham, and Shem, right? So when you right here where uh, all three are overlapping is where what is this thing doing? It's annoying. Okay, right, right there is where all three are overlapping is where Abraham lived. So he had to once he slaughtered his hometown, he had to he had to travel north around the kings that were mad at him along the Dead Sea in this area here. So Abraham and his family lived over in this area, and then he had to go to the north of Sodom and Gomorrah, right, and then come down into Egypt. He had to go around the kings that wanted to ride on him, and then uh, he was making alliances along the way of his family members that he had already known. You understand? So he he did the right thing, but he thought that other people were gonna recognize that he had done the right thing. But Sodom and Gomorrah didn't agree. So he went around them and made alliances along the way, went to Egypt for a while, and then he positioned himself to the west of Sodom and Gomorrah in Canaan. Okay. And then so as he made those alliances that surrounded Sodom and Gomorrah, that's when they rode on Sodom and Gomorrah and completely obliterated Sodom and Gomorrah. And that land is obliterated to this day, to this day, to this day. Who are Shem, Ham, and Japheth? If you don't know, you better ask somebody. So now, fame is God's highest commodity. You understand? So you got to use your fame to do what's right at all times. I mean, every decision you ever make has got to be life. You understand? And life can only be preserved if some things die. You understand? Some things have to die in order to preserve life that only wants to do right. You see? The people that want to do wrong at all times, like kidnap kids and stuff like this, and I'm using that because that's a hot topic in the media. We finally capturing these cowards and clowns who kidnap kids. You see, and we finally got mature enough to accept that that's wrong as a society. You see, even though Christian society automatically tells you it's wrong over and over again, and you just point your finger. You can't supposed to judge. You're not supposed to judge. Stop judging. Uh, well, I got a finger too. I got a finger too, bro. I got a finger too. You understand? I'm gonna judge, and I'm gonna judge correctly. So it's wrong to kidnap kids and torture it and eat it and have sex with a child. It's wrong. So whenever people are doing this all over the country and all over the world, there are people who don't like that behavior, and we consider, instead of you killing that child, we think that you should die instead of them. We think the child should live. That's what we think. And so we're right, you're wrong. Since you refuse to quit doing that, you got to die. This is why Madonna told you that there's no more pasta, which are children. Now we're going to eat fried fish, which is a false flag. You see? False flag. That's what fried fish is. And so that's the whole sentiment of that information. But I'm talking about Abraham. Abraham's fame spread into the countries around Sodom and Gomorrah, and those kings, along with the help of Egypt, elected and got together in a humongous fighting force and completely obliterated Sodom and Gomorrah. So it's like that's kind of like what you're seeing now, and what you're going to see much more of. The people that do wrong constantly got to die. So that's what's going to happen, and just get ready. Okay, the way you get ready is to give me all your money. Give it all to me. I'll give you some of it back. You understand? And then we're going to use that money to do what's right. We're going to hunt down anybody that does wrong. We're going to hunt them down. We're going to put them in handcuffs, clink, clink, and we're going to take them in front of judges. And they're going to say, you did wrong. If you got evidence, we're going to present the evidence to the judge. You see, he still has the child's hand in his pocket, right here. He keeps it as a keepsake. He thinks it's and he kisses the hand every day. See, Exhibit Z48. You see, the hand in the pocket. You see, and we're gonna make this happen. So when you give me your money, I'm gonna link up with my over 600 plus African American organizations. I'm gonna link up with some Africans in the African Union. I might even link up with the Grandmaster Drake. He could be extremely useful in that venture. But I gotta get I gotta follow protocol, and I gotta get permission from my great His Excellency, my chairman. You see, my chairman. Got it. We gotta hash that out a little bit, you know what I mean? Because the great honorable brother Grandmaster Jay just admitted that he's a spook. You understand? And we got to be sure that he's sincere about putting wrong people accountable, holding wrong people accountable, and bringing them to justice in handcuffs. You see, and we got to make sure he's sincere about that before we pay the hunters to hunt that, to help the like the feds and stuff to uh, hunt down these criminals around the world. You understand? You got to make sure people are sincere. So now the 600 plus organizations I deal with, I already know they're sincere because in this day and time, doing the right thing causes extreme poverty. So I know that they're doing the right thing because they don't get no money at all. Zero. But they still do the work constantly, every day. Just like me. I'm broke. I do the work every day. Call people, tweet the Twitter finger politicians, and then I see the results in the news, and then everybody's amazed. So I feel accomplished by these things. I really do. I really do appreciate the accomplishments that have been happening. Because the reason I feel accomplished is because I'm talking about 99% of everybody banged on me before everybody found out that abortion was wrong, and everybody found out that pedophilia and torturing kids and adrenochrome was wrong. Now I see everybody talking about adrenochrome. Nobody know nothing about it. Nobody knew nothing about it. Satanists. I bang on Satanists. And now I see people banging on Satanists as if you think Satanists are good people or something, like they're just normal people that just do they're just living normal lives. I mean, these people actively do all types of insane stuff. I'm talking about, and they're rich actively. So they're all going to be held accountable. I'm going to make sure of it. That's my job. My job is to hold criminals accountable. Law and order, as POTUS says. Law and order, bro. Yeah, buddy. Now, it's due to fame. The only way I can accomplish this is by doing the right thing daily, and my fame becomes while you're alive. All these people are alive now. Solomon, David, these people are alive and they're famous. They're alive. Jesus was alive. His fame was through the roof. You understand? Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces. For this man, Mordecai, waxed greater and greater. Mordecai is the uh, nephew of Esther, right? Who snitched on the, uh, the men that wanted to kill Artaxerxes. So Artaxerxes found out from Esther that two men in the country wanted to kill. They had the means and motive and all that stuff to kill Artaxerxes, and Mordecai snitched on them, and then told his aunt Esther, or told his niece. I think that was his niece. His niece Esther, if I ain't mistaken, I don't know. They was very, very closely related. You know, sister, brother, that close. Aunt, 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 aunt and uncle. You know, I mean, niece, niece and uncle, or aunt and nephew. That's how closely related they were. So Mordecai, he only became famous after he snitched, you see, to the king. Now that's the only snitching that you're allowed to do. If somebody tries to kill the king of any country that you live in, then you better snitch. But you cannot snitch on. You can't do crimes with people and then and then snitch. That's just stupid. That's what dumb people do. Okay, so like I said, fame don't do like Tupac say. I'll make you famous. That means today famous means I kill you and now you're famous. Like George Floyd. I am not signing up to be nobody's martyr. No, sir. I have chosen life ever since I was 16 years old when I tried to jump off a building and die head first and kill myself. That day, instead of jumping, I chose life. And ever since then, I don't kill myself, I kill other people. Yeah, I said it, and it's true. So, but you got to do right at all times. You see, that's how uh, fame is defined in the Bible. You see, but of course, you got fame of the wicked people too. They have fame too, but their fame doesn't count to God. Like their fame is counted as wickedness. It counts. It's counted as wickedness, and the reward is there's a reward for wickedness. The reward is death. It's the only thing you can do is die. You see? You see how that works? We're talking about fame. And I'm not gonna hold you long because I done talked enough. It's all about fame. And when you decide to get on God's team, you automatically begin to lose everything that Satan gave you. Satan is the Jewishers, the synagogue of Satan. The Jewishers that wish that they were Jews and are not and are the synagogue of Satan. Any monies throughout your career that you accrued from them, you will lose. It's easily replaced by God's people. God's people are just as more, extremely more, way more wealthy. We're talking about Temanite. We're talking about His Imperial Majesty, uh, Villamor Marcos the Fourth. That's what I said. That's what I'm saying. These are God. This is God's people. This is God's team. Look him up. Villamor Marcos the Fourth is the absolute richest man on the face of the planet. Okay, you can go to his Facebook. He got a Facebook. You see? He owns an organization called the Omnipotent. Like he has omnipotent in the name of his organization. Omnipotent, man, because he understands history and he knows that Esau has been ruling this earth since Esau was an adult. The original Esau became an adult and conquered Babylon. That was the first kingdom. He conquered it by himself. Okay, so get to know who is Tiburcio Villamor Marcos Delano, right? Blah blah blah. Okay, so I'm trying. Here we go. Marshall Program, World Development Marshall Program, international organization supporting the 5 humanitarian agencies of the United Nations, uh, UNIDO, UNCTAD, UNHCR, WHO, and UN. This dude is confused. So I don't get why he would think that. but he should be respected at all times. So I'm not gonna bang too hard uh, on that because I had to figure out that I had to figure something out about this guy and why I couldn't figure out why he shouted out Trump and Putin and the leader of China. But now I understand why he did that. And so whenever you learn your nationality and you turn from your wicked ways, uh, the Most High begins to build a house with you. He begins to build you up to where you comprehend uh, everything, you get understanding, and then you begin to do what you're told, including prophecies. You see, you begin to understand the prophecies and then you begin to act them out. So that takes time because we're so resistant to God. You understand? And so your fame is God's highest commodity. Don't squander it. And give all your money to me. And I will teach you how to live for God. I'm talking about all of it. I'm not even joking. Okay. Let me see here. See, there was a rich couple that I don't know why the apostles used to tell people to give all their money away. I still don't know. I'm just saying it now because that's what they say. But uh, and I know why they say it. Now that I think about it, because Jesus had told a rich man to do that one time. Uh-huh. Let's see here. Uh-huh. I'm looking for the story where it says the apostles had told a rich couple to give all their money to the apostles, and they had gave some type of significant portion to the apostles, like 90% or something. And the apostle knew that that wasn't 100% of the money by way of the Holy Spirit. And he told the couple, "You're not tricking me. You're blaspheming the Holy Spirit. You're grieving the Holy Spirit." And they got so afraid that they died. They had heart attacks or something. So I'm not trying to scare you at all. You understand? I'm just giving you orders so that you uh, might witness all the good that can be done with all the money that you have. You got all this money, but you don't know how to impact the world as you should. You understand? Other than making people dance, sing and dance. You see what I'm saying? And laugh. There's nothing to laugh about because there are people out here in the world that all they do all day long while you're laughing, they got their head down in a book writing down names, addresses, and looking up people and getting people body and all types of all types of stuff. So there's a famous quote talking about if you knew what these people were up to, you would never smile again. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, but I'm gonna laugh regardless because the Most High, that's what we do. We just laugh at the wickedness because they think they're getting away. But there's a location found for them if they escape our grasp. The location is called hell. It's the tormenting hell. There's two parts of hell. There's the righteous hell, and then there's the unrighteous hell. And unrighteous hell, the people are getting tormented right now to this day. So they didn't get away with anything at all. But it's important for people in the earth to see them being brought to justice, so that uh, they can be purged from the earth, and the Most High can live in a clean environment. The Most High don't want to live around us. It's too debaucherous. You don't want to see none of that. So he's not going to come here until uh, the earth becomes his footstool. You see? That's right. So I'm going to let you go now, because I see you reading all my email headlines here. So let me go. Shalom.